Hello and welcome, my name is Voltaire and this is the first ever Voltaire video newsletter. Now, as it happens, if you've followed me on the Voltaire.net and signed up for the mailing list there, you've probably been getting a monthly newsletter from me every month, probably for years. But now that I have a fancy new camera, I'm going to do them on video so I don't have to type anything. Well, I'll probably still type them out and send them to you, but this is so much easier, isn't it? So here we are, Voltaire Video Newsletter, number 1, March 2012. The Lair is a complete mess, and I don't care because I'm so excited, because I have a new camera. I want to show you. This is the camera that I was using. I shot my very first vlog ever, the ones from Whitby, England, on this. It's a Kodak Playtouch, and did not love it. So I eventually borrowed a Canon 5D and or 360, I don't remember. Anyway, it was a Canon and I loved it, but I had to give it back. But today I have bought one of my own. I got the Canon 5D Mark III and I'd show it to you, but I can't because it's right there filming me. So, but I'm very excited. Oh, emails coming in apparently. They're excited too. It is going to cost me, it's going to take me a lot of money to make back the money I spent on the camera, so I guess I'd better get to work. Nonetheless, I'm so excited that I also don't care that it's the middle of the day here at the Lair. I never shoot during the day because that's when normal people are walking around outside, making lots of noise, and birds are singing, and bird singing is just so un-Lair-like. Now, if there were wolves howling outside and bats flying around, then that might be okay. But I just don't care. So go ahead, sound your horns, laugh out loud, tweet away, little birds. It's not going to get me down. We're going to start right away. I made myself a list because there's so much stuff going on. I guess in recent history, I've been working a lot on the custom toys. I've made 2 custom toys most recently. One was for a company called Play Imaginative, and that was a collaboration with Disney. Not my first time collaborating with Disney. And that toy was a Deddy mouse. It was Deddy as Mickey Mouse. You know what? Actually, I'm going to crawl up here and grab the Stitch one. Well, after crawling all over boxes and everything and to get it up from the shelf, this is the Deddy Stitch. This is the a custom toy originally that I made. It was quite large and it was Deddy as Stitch, but the company liked it so much they decided to manufacture it, and these sold out super quick. So when I did the Deddy mouse, Deddy as Mickey Mouse, I was kind of hoping that was going to go the same way, but alas, today I got the bad news from Play Imaginative that they will not be manufacturing that design. It was not selected by Disney. So it's not going to happen. But you know what? It was a joy making that custom toy, and it will be on display somewhere in Singapore next week. You can't win them all, as I always like to say. I made another custom toy last week, and that was a Bellicose Bunny. A Bellicose Bunny by Mr. Nathan Hamill. And it's a very cute bunny rabbit with goggles sitting on top of a rocket shooting off into outer space. Although by the time I was done with mine, it was no longer even a rabbit. I call mine the Necrosian Mantis Ray. Here's a picture of it. And furthermore, I think the Necrosian Mantis Ray will be making an appearance in the next Adventure Quest event, which I'll tell you about in a little bit. So that's it for custom toys. Moving right along, let's talk about manufactured toys. These are toys of mine that I've designed that are actually going to be available for purchase. Again, Adventure Quest Worlds. It's a very popular online game at aq.com. There's the link right there, aq.com. And every Friday the 13th, I appear in animated form with my dear friend Deddy. And we terrorize Babylon and other fine places in Adventure Quest. These are scenes from some of our exploits on our Friday the 13th Adventure Quest events. Ooh, that guy was scary. We lead a 4-hour quest. We lead 35,000+ players through monster-infested waters, on haunted pirate ships, and whatever it takes. And by the end of it, you've heard some songs, you've fought a lot of monsters, and you also generally get to keep some free stuff at the end of the game. I think my top hat was something your character could get indefinitely, and my guitar was another item. It was a drop item, and the Voltaire Keyblade has played a very important role in some of the events recently. And that one is an item that was a drop last time, which means that if you killed a monster enough times, he eventually dropped the thing and you got to keep it. And I do believe the Voltaire Keyblade will be making an appearance in this next event. As I mentioned, we do it every Friday the 13th. And there's going to be 3 this year. There was one January, which we did an event for, based around my song The Mechanical Girl and riding a black unicorn down the side of an erupting volcano while drinking from a chalice filled with the laughter of small children. And this next one, because it happens around Easter, is going to be a bunny-pocalypse. And subsequently, celebrating the bunny-pocalypse-ness of it all, Toy 2R and Adventure Quest and myself will be teaming up yet again to release another series of these lovely 5-inch vinyl toys that we make, called Deddy and Fiends is the series. And this time around there will be a vinyl Deddy bunny, which will be Deddy disguised as a bunny. There will also be a figure of Deddy's nemesis from the comic book series, Sleester Bunny. And we're also short packing, which means there'll be less of these in every assortment. Some black and white versions of each. There's a black, white, and silver version of Sleester Bunny called Death Bunny. And there's a black, white, and silver version of Deddy Bunny called Deddy Bunny Silver Screen Edition. Now, above and beyond all of that, there is a 5th figure that's being released. It will be an exclusive of mine, which means you'll only be able to get it directly from me at my web store or at my shows, and that's called Sleester Deddy. And it is basically Deddy disguised as Sleester Bunny. And when you play the event on Friday the 13th, you'll understand why all of these things make sense. It is a bunny-pocalypse, and there's tons and tons of really cool bunny vinyl toys coming straight to you from me, Adventure Quest, and Toy 2R. So stay tuned and keep a lookout on Voltaire.net/store, where these will be sold, because I'm going to probably put up a pre-order pretty soon. I also think that every order is probably going to come with a free Deddy not bootleg toy. Come on, there's got to be one around here somewhere. I don't think there is. And that brings me to my next topic, which is stickers. I've just recently had these beautiful color stickers made by Sticker Robot, and they're really, really, really nice. And subsequently, every order in, let's just say from now till the end of April, we'll have a free Deddy sticker, as well as a free Voltaire Devil's Briss sticker. And that's not all, because if you order anything from the Voltaire store between now and the end of April, you will also get one of these. A Voltaire button. I'd like to tell you a little something about these Voltaire buttons. As it happens, I've had buttons made, you know, throughout the years, and one day while I was playing a show in Ithaca, New York, there was a young lady named Fondlin who showed up with a bag of these buttons. She had made some black ones, and she had made some white ones, and it has my little skull logo, and it says Voltaire. And I said, well, that was very, very kind of you. What do I owe you? And she said, no, it's just a present from me to you. And she gave me this bag with 100 or 200 buttons or so. And so subsequently, I gave them away to people who ordered things from my web store. I have recently run out. So I thought, you know, I have to make more buttons. I really like being able to give people, you know, free buttons with stuff that they order. So rather than going to the company that I normally hire for buttons, I thought, let me ask Fondlin if she would like to make more buttons. So I emailed her and I said, hey, I'd really like to buy like 400 of these buttons. And she said, yeah, absolutely. And I said, well, what would you charge me? She was like, oh, don't worry about it. I said, no, I insist on paying at least what I pay the company that normally makes my buttons. So we just kind of looked on their website and found out what they charged, and that's what she charged me. And so I hired her to make my buttons instead of the company I normally use. Now, all of that's fine and good, but then, here's the big surprise. When the box came, rather than them just being in some Ziploc bag, she sent them in this amazing wooden box. Look at that. Oh, maybe I should have closed it. Look at this. It has two compartments, one for the white ones, one for the black ones. Isn't this, it's like a treasure chest. It was honestly, it was like Christmas getting this. So, Fondlin, thank you so much. That was so incredibly kind of you. There's so much love going around in this room, and you'll be delighted to know that the buttons that you so lovingly made will be given away for free to people who order stuff from my web store. And that's just, you know, it's so rare that things work so beautifully like that. And that's why Fondlin is Human of the Month. Next on the agenda, let's talk about books. Crap. Where did I put that book? It's so far away. I'm gonna go grab it. As many of you may know, I have written 2 books in my days. One of them is called What is Goth? And it's sort of a piss take on the whole question. And the other one is called Painted Black, A Guide to Gothic Homemaking, which I think is an informative and entertaining book, which actually helped me to decorate the Lair. In fact, this is what I'm decorating in the book, is the Lair. Come to think of it. In any case, these books have been out of print for a year or 2 or 3 at this point, and just recently I inquired with my publisher about the rights to the books, and as it happens, I received this letter in the mail reverting the rights back to me on April 1st. So as of April 1st, the rights to these books are mine again, which means that rather than letting a publisher publish my books and subsequently letting them go out of print, I can put these back in print if I choose to. Now, I don't know yet if I'm going to put them in actual hard copy print or maybe put them together as one book, but I definitely feel that the least I should do is make ebooks. So, it's quite possible that in the next 12 months or so, What is Goth and Painted Black may be back in print, in the very least, as ebooks. Also in book news, those of you who follow my Twitter and Facebook have noticed that I've been drawing a lot lately. I have been working on a little bit of a concept based on my song called The Mechanical Girl. Here's a little drawing of her. And because I believe that every mechanical girl should have a mechanical unicorn, here's a drawing of her mechanical unicorn. There's other characters that are in her world, as I imagine she lives near a forest, and there's a big a forest beast. And she has some little mechanical friends called Ping and Clank. And I'm still developing this whole world, but it is my dream to develop this into something of a universe, and who knows, maybe someday there will be an animated film, but if nothing else comes of it, I hope that I can at least put all of this into book form. Maybe make a children's book or a graphic novel or something like that. So this is all still very nascent and all still very, very fetal, but hopefully someday soon there will be a Mechanical Girl book. Here's another idea that I've had for quite a long time. I have this idea for a Christmas/Halloween story about, well, it's called Candy Claus, the Christmas Bat. And it's about this gargoyle named Hargoyle and you'll find out why when you read the book, but he's this gargoyle, and he's not very well liked by his family and his friends, and he's a bit of an outcast. And the end of the story basically is that somehow, some way, he comes to being called Candy Claus because he steals candy from terrible naughty children on Halloween, and then he delivers it on Christmas Eve to nice little boys and girls. Here's a drawing I did of Candy Claus a few years ago. And this is something that I hope to develop, so I don't know how long it's going to take me, and but I really hope that somehow, some way, I can get this book done by Halloween, and if not Halloween, by Christmas. And most recently, those of you who follow my antics on the Twitter and Facebook know that I've been spending most of my time writing a novelization of my screenplay, Call of the Jersey Devil. I'm presently on Chapter 8. And it's something I'm very eager to unleash upon the world. I'm really not sure when it'll be done, but hopefully this year. Let's talk about music. There's lots going on in music news. I have recently just remixed all of my latest album, Riding a Black Unicorn, down the side of an erupting volcano while drinking from a chalice filled with the laughter of small children, with no vocals. So they're instrumental versions. There's several reasons I've done this. Number one, while I'm a musician, I'm also a writer. And when I write, I find it very difficult to focus on words if there's music playing in the background with lyrics. I thought maybe other writers feel this way too. So I thought that by taking all of the vocals out of my album, writers might actually be able to sit down and put on an album like that and be able to enjoy the music while not getting distracted by what they're listening to being sung. I get told a lot by people, particularly writers, that my music inspires them, so maybe this is a way that they can continue to listen to the music while actually writing. Moreover, as many of you know, I am also a filmmaker, and Lord knows it is difficult to find music to use in your films legally. So, another reason for taking all the vocals out of the songs is so that filmmakers who are working on indie projects and school projects and things of that nature can use these tracks as background music in their films. And for those of you who don't know, I have a totally free policy on my music being used in film, indie film, and school projects. So if you're making a school project or a low-budget film, you can go, hopefully soon, to CD Baby or iTunes and download a track, and you just send me an email saying what you're using it for. I will say absolutely, and you just credit me and you've got free music. Well, free might not be the right word, maybe 99 cents. That's kind of free. That's pretty damn close to free. 99 cents, and you have a song you can use in your film. I think that's a pretty good deal. And last, but most importantly, the reason I took the vocals out of my songs is because there are people who are begging me for karaoke versions. So, all of the songs on Riding a Black Unicorn will be remixed as instrumentals that sound good as instrumentals, and then they will repeat again as karaoke versions. What's the difference? The songs that have backing vocals will still have the backing vocals on the karaoke versions. So you can have your very own Voltaire karaoke party. That's coming up very soon, so keep in touch. As soon as I'm done with the instrumental versions for Riding a Black Unicorn, I'm going to go and start working on the ones for the album before it, which is Hate Lives in a Small Town. And when I'm done with that one, I'll go to the one before that. So look for instrumental and karaoke versions of my albums coming soon. Now when that's all done, I start working on my next album, which is called Bi-Trexual. Bi-Trexual because I love Star Wars and Star Trek equally. And that album is going to contain some of my parody songs about Star Trek, like The USS Makes Shit Up, Sexy Data Tango, Screw the Ocampa, Worf's Revenge, and it will also contain versions of my Star Wars parody songs, Cantina. I've written a new Star Wars song called Docking Bay 94, which you can hear right here on the Lair of Voltaire. I'll put a link for the video here. And, of course, my newest parody song, The Trouble with Tribbles. and by the time the album's done, there may just be some more songs on there, so look for that. Oh my god, how could I forget? The title track is called Bitrexual, and it's a duet, so I have to find someone else to sing it with. Don't know who that's going to be yet, though I do have some ideas. None of these guys. So look for Bitrexual around the end of summer. I'd think that one would be done. And that's it for music news. Upcoming shows. I have shows all the time. I'm always adding shows. Now this week I'm performing at Icon Sci-Fi Convention in Stony Brook, New York. It is one of my favorite conventions to play. Certainly one of my favorite local conventions. I play there very, very frequently, almost every year. And I'll be there again this Saturday, March 31st. So look for me there. The very next day, April 1st in New York City, I'll be performing at Dracula Meets the Clockwork Man, The Anachronism. It is a steampunk ball, and it's a benefit to help a friend of ours, Mr. Gill, with his medical bills. He's had some heart trouble as of late, and so we're all going to be there supporting Gill. I hope if you are in the New York City area, you will come as well. April 1st in New York City. At Drum, D-R-O-M. That's where it's going to take place. April 7th, I will be attending Marcon for my first time ever. I've heard a lot of great things about Marcon in Columbus, Ohio. It's a gaming convention. I personally have never been. This will be my first time, and I look forward to that. May 19th, I'll be at the Steampunk World's Fair in Piscataway, New Jersey. Sunday, June 17th, I will be performing in Buffalo, New York at Convergence. That is a traveling goth festival. Every year it's somewhere different. This year it's in Buffalo, and I'll be performing there Sunday, June 17th. And July 28th, I'll be returning to Birmingham, Alabama for Play On Con. If you were there last year and you saw me, you know that I had hurt my back in Dublin a couple of days earlier and I could barely move. So I'm hoping to be in better shape this year when I play at Play On Con. All of these dates and more as they are added will appear and do appear on Voltaire.net in the calendar section. Please go take a look. I'm always adding new dates, so while you're at Voltaire.net, join the mailing list. Join the mailing list. I can't say it enough times. Join the mailing list, because every month I send out a list of upcoming shows, and I don't want you to miss it when I come near you. Besides YouTube, of course, there's the mailing list, and there's the Twitter and the Facebook, and I live on them both. So if you're a tweeter, follow me on Twitter. If you prefer Facebook, follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com/Voltaire fan page. I post all of the time, and hopefully I will meet you there. Last but not least, my co-host, Orville Dedenbacher, still missing. I received a really bizarre collect call from somewhere in Mexico last week, and all I heard was some raspy grumbling. You know, it sounded like almost like a zombie gasping for air. Orville, I don't know if that was you, but if it was, wherever you are, I hope you're taking care of yourself. I hope you're well, and I hope you return soon to join me by my side here on the Lair of Voltaire. Thank you all for watching the first ever Voltaire video newsletter.